another driving video. I never really fancied myself as a driving video person, but here we are. Here we are. I don't always know what I want to say till I vet things out loud. This isn't a rant video or anything like that. I have a small agenda. But the more I talk, the more I understand how I feel about things. I think a lot of you are that way. I'll always prefer videos where people are showing cards and telling stories. But I think the hobby talk and the hobby news and the let's chat, I think those videos have a place in the hobby as well. I certainly don't want every video to be like this or every other video. I know when I'm looking at new channels, two things I look for. Are they showing cards regularly? And are they vintage cards? Or at least is there a mix of vintage and modern at least? I unfortunately, and sorry if you're watching this, but if you're strictly like a modern pack ripper, let's see what Walmart has in stock and all that, I'm not seeing your videos. And it's nothing personal. I just, it's not what I value. It's not what I care about in the hobby. So, that's okay. Not everybody's watching my channel. Not everyone cares about my quirky collections and how I present them or whatever. How I look, my voice. I'm not even sure how my wife tolerates it, to be honest with you. Kidding, kidding. 25 years this last November, so I gotta be doing something right. But this isn't really about like what I look for in a channel. Really, I wanted to talk, mostly I want to see if I can get some kind of meetup for Northwest or Western Washington or Western Washington, Western Oregon or PNW. I wanted to see if I can get some kind of meetup together. I'm not going to the National this year. Budgetary constraints. But I am going to the Washington State yearly convention in Linwood, which is on the first Saturday of June. I think that's the 3rd, on the 3rd. And I would love to get some people together and maybe do a little pre-funk, some morning coffee, just talk about what kind of plans we have going into the show. If you've never been to that show, it's at least 2 years ago. It's largely vintage, with some modern stuff peppered in. But get together, share our experiences, share our goals, and just hang, since I won't be able to hang with anybody at the National, since I'm not going. I would love to be able to do that. I've reached out to a couple of Washington YouTubers and kind of floated the idea, and I got a couple of maybes. I got a no. There's one that I'm thinking of I haven't reached out to, and pardon me while I adjust the camera. And there's got to be Washington YouTubers out there that I just don't know. I don't know you're in Washington. I don't know you're in Western Washington. Maybe you only comment. Maybe you only watch videos. But if you ever met up with other YouTubers, there's nothing to be nervous about. We're all really cool people. And it would just, anyway, it would be cool to do. Even if I could just put together 2 or 3 people. So my email is going to be in the description. So hit me up there. That's all I really got to say on that. Excited to go to the show. I'm only going to have about $250 to spend. But I have a small goal for myself of getting a cool pre-war thing, a cool vintage thing, and a cool modern thing. Whatever I decide cool is. And then I can go sort of freeform from there, you know, dollar boxes or lower, not lower end, but, you know, more affordable kind of vintage commons that I need for like the Washington State collection or knuckleball collection or whatever. So that's my plan going into that. So let me know if you're a Washingtonian. Other thing I wanted to just touch on briefly, also sort of PNW themed, is Kraken. Season came to an end on Monday. Still got a little bit of the blues, but they weren't supposed to be really anywhere near as good as they were. And I hope I'm not spoiled, you know, expecting them to go deep in the playoffs next year, because I don't think that's where they were supposed to be this year. It's where they ended up. But I didn't talk too much about it on the channel as I was watching games, because, well, part of it is I usually release videos the day after I shoot them, and they would be out of date by then. But the other thing is I'm still just learning a lot about hockey, what to expect, and who's favored, and who to look for on each team to be a threat to my team, and on and on and on and on. But I will say, as a fairly new hockey fan, I've really been able to get into it. And it helps that the team was good this year. And I can watch all the playoff games instead of like a quarter of the regular season games because of my package. And anyway, just as I suspected, when we were awarded a team, I thought if I had a rooting interest, I could get way more into something. NBA is kind of a problem right now. I don't know who the NBA stars are unless they're really old, like LeBron or Curry or some of these guys. Because on a random, you know, let's say January 5th, I can't make myself care about the Timberwolves versus the Knicks. I don't care. I hope they both lose. It doesn't matter to me, because that team's not from my region. I didn't go to high school with one of the players, whatever. So I just don't know. I don't know. But in hockey, I'm starting to get that education where, you know, maybe I watch them play. Well, I learned a lot more about the Avalanche in Dallas. I knew Nathan McKinnon. I knew Mikhail Makar. But I wasn't really familiar with Rantanen, and I didn't really know any of the stars except for Robertson, maybe. So it's been cool to get to know, you know, some of the other teams and stuff too. So that's what I appreciate about hockey. I'm always going to be a bigger baseball guy than anything else. But if the NBA wants another fan, put a team back in Seattle. You got a newish hockey fan here. You got a lifelong, you know, football and baseball fan. And, you know, the hope is when they expand again. I don't want someone else's team, because I know what that feels like to be on the other end of it. And it stinks. It really stinks. It leaves a hole in your sports heart. It's not fun. And if we got a team from somewhere else and rebranded them as the Sonics, I wouldn't feel good about it. So, and just my thoughts for now. I got another little ways here to go. On my way to get an allergy shot. I go once a week, and it keeps me at least so I'm not miserable. I've been doing this about once a week for about a year and a half. I leave right when the buses leave, and I take the back road here because it's a little quicker to the clinic. And it's a little more scenic than the other side of the river. And get my shot. This is sort of my meditation time. And if this goes over well, maybe we'll do a weekly or bi-weekly kind of chat here. But thanks for tolerating me. I don't even know what this is going to sound like. Like I said, I vet my feelings out loud, and I never know what they are until I say them. But that's that. Until next time, I hope your day is beautiful as mine. And remember, we don't count subscribers, we count friends.